Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's kind of been a minute since I posted a video. Right now it is the middle of May here, and just ready to do a little bit of an update for you. Well, things are moving right along with the yard here. The grass is nice and green and coming up. The cedars that I sprayed the wilt proof on seem to be nice and green, coming in beautifully. Project that I'm working on here is installing a little bit more capacity for rainwater collection. These two totes are food grade. I made the mistake the first time of buying non-food grade totes, and they get a lot of algae. This was the original tote that I had. I tried painting it to stop the photosynthesis from happening and the algae growing, but it didn't help, and the paint just peeled right off. Quite a large amount of algae in there. I figured I'd replace them with food grade, then I don't have to really worry about it anymore. But what I'm trying to do here, I've taken my little downspout contraption here off because it also gets a lot of, debris, and whatever's on the roof ends up down in the tote, and I don't want to clog up my pump. So I'm going to try to figure out some kind of a filtration system for this. Well, as for now, I'm going to head on down to the hardware store and see what we can find to make this tote work. I'm going to have to get a couple of pipes and fittings and whatnot, so I'll be back and we'll start working on the rain barrels here. Went to Canadian Tire, got this pail with a shower drain in the bottom, and I glued this 90-degree 3-inch downspout onto it. It's PVC sewer pipe. If I was to give you a recommendation, I don't know if I already said it, I'll find out in the editing there, but use ABS instead of PVC. There's too many different types of PVC schedules. There's Schedule 40, Schedule 80. I think this stuff is sewer pipe something or another. I'm not sure what schedule this identifies as, but it's just too many schedules. Use ABS, there's more fittings, it's easier to do. So I went as far as this due to the other tote there having so much crud in it from the eaves troughs and everything. I wanted to have a screen. So I cut a hole in the lid and I got this screen from Co-op. I think this is a sprayer screen for farmers, I don't know, fertilizer sprayers. So this is fits perfect in here. And I think this will catch most of the stuff from the eaves troughs. There's a few pine trees around and whatnot, so not to mention the gravel from the roof. I think the mesh is fine enough that it should catch the gravel too from the asphalt shingles. Alrighty, so now that's in there like that. Alright, so I'm gonna try to flush some of that crap down the eaves trough. Alright. That's a lot of crap, actually. Okay, so what I think we're gonna do is not put all of that down into... I'll just put a little bit to test the theory. Oh, conveniently, I found out I need to clean the gutters. Alright, how did we do over there yonder? Oh yeah, look at that. Huh. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, so did a pretty good job. Caught all the gravel. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this again, take this back off, and probably throw one of them spare 90s that I have on here and just shoot it out that way. Clean out the eaves troughs here so that the rest of that doesn't end up in there, because the whole freaking eaves trough is full of what is essentially my roof shingles coming unglued because They're old and the roof needs to be replaced this year, so all the gravel from the shingles is coming off of there. Unfortunate. Still got the downslope. That lip is definitely not even close to being overshot anymore. So there we have it. There's what we have so far. So that's all fully functioning now. The only thing I might do is, I'm not sure on this other tote situation yet, and the reason for that is because if I set another tote here, you know, it's just, I'd have to like leave a bit of a gap in between the two totes to be able to access the drain. So what I'm going to do is make a decision on whether or not I want to put that other tote here, because that will involve removing the gate. I have a gate here and it hides that entire tote situation nicely. That way, you know, from this perspective, nobody even knows that there's really a rain barrel back there. It just all blends in. But if I put another tote here, I would probably, you know, have to maybe extend the fence. In all honesty, that wouldn't be a huge deal, because I'm all for collecting as much water as possible. Because we actually, pretty much every year, we've gone into a water advisory where they don't allow you to water your lawn and whatnot. I like to have a nice yard and lawn and everything, so if I have this rainwater, then I don't have to worry about these water advisories. Although sometimes people do question me like, oh, you know there's a rain advisory? I'm like, yeah, I've got 3,000 liters worth of water, rainwater sitting in the backyard, and I don't really need to worry about it. Need to make a decision on what to do with the rest of this. Let's say I did decide to put the tote there. Well, I could pretty much just take the gate off, right? Now this pole is concreted in, she's down into the ground, so I'd have to dig another hole, but I could square it right up with the edge of this cedar. And I have a problem with my neighbor's dog. Barks like absolutely crazy. When the dogs are out in the back, if they can see one another, you know, the barking and whatnot starts. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to have this whole area totally blocked off. Question is, where would I put the gate? If I put the other tote right here and the spout facing this way, and if this gate was here, I could just put the hinges on the other side, I suppose. So the gate would still open pretty much as it is now. And then I'd have another post here, another post there, and I guess another post on the property line against the fence. And then have both my totes right here and valves right here, just enough room. So maybe this will be a plan that we're going to go ahead with. But as for now, I think I'm going to end the video here because, well, I'm not going to be doing that other tote today, so that's why. I'll end the video here and then stay tuned. If you like the video, hit the like button. This is probably the best setup I've seen so far for having a filter. These other guys do this first flush thing where there's a massive search first flush on YouTube. There's a massive pipe that goes all the way down to the ground, and then they have the water drain out of the pipe with like a little pinhole. But anyways, when it rains, the rain overcomes the volume of that pipe, and you put a ball inside, and then you neck it down at the top so that the ball kind of creates a stop and all that water doesn't rush in. But your first bit of water that comes rushing down the eaves troughs usually flushes out about a bunch of you know, gravel and whatever else is in the eaves trough. So they essentially want all of that to go down into the pipe. But what I found is, you know, the gravel will go down there, but not like the leaves. And like, I got a fair amount of trees around here, so we're dealing with leaves, pine needles on the regular, pine cones on the regular, and all of that stuff will float. And so it will still end up in my tote anyways, and that's why I went with the screen. So, and I think that the grains are fine enough on that screen to catch the the gravel. But it'll be a future video when I put the other tote here, because that's a lot of work involved. But I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to cut this really short, the grass, and then lay some landscaping fabric, put some sand down on top, and then put the these patio bricks, landscaping stones, whatever the hell you call those, pavers. Put that down on top of the sand, put the tote on top of that, and fence it off.